Hello, good afternoon, happy Sunday. I'm gonna step outside for a moment. Hopefully it's not too loud out here. I'm gonna sit down here just for a moment. It's just so nice outside. Um, Again, hopefully it's not too loud out here for you not to hear me. So I hope you're all doing all right. I really just wanted to pop in just to share a few gold nuggets this morning, especially for those. Actually, I think it's the evening now. I've just been pondering this in my heart as God gave it to me, like ever since this morning and even months back, actually. But there's an appointed time for everything, even specific words, especially specific words from God. And so this message today is for those of you who feel like you've just been chosen. God has called you to do something, whatever He's inspired you to do, or you feel like He's leading you to do, whether it's in the business market, to be an entrepreneur, or in the corporate world to assist someone with their corporation, or whether it's to build and be a bridge for where there have been gaps, whether it's in ministry as in inside of the four walls of the church or in the sanctuary, with the people of God specifically, as far as like clergy or ministerial type leadership. Whatever it is, whether it's in your community or management in some field, whether it's an occupation or whether it's a profession that you feel like you're being called to go into, whatever it is that you feel like God is calling you to do, trust me, God doesn't make mistakes. It's possible, though, that sometimes we get so anxious and so ready because we feel that inspiration, or we feel His tugging or His pulling, that we get ahead of ourselves, and we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. He tell us, be anxious for nothing. In other words, don't let your care be too full. Don't care so much for one thing that you're putting it. It's possible to put your dreams or to put your calling before God. That is very much possible, and we don't want that to happen. And so I really wanted to come in and to share just with you, those of you who feel like you've been chosen, and you feel inspired by God to do something. I just want to leave with you a gold nugget, just to be patient and to wait on God. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. Be your best self. At times you're going to be your worst self. And I know that's not the inspiration that you really want to hear, but it's the truth, and it's the truth that's going to make you free. So even if you've been in turmoil and tossing and turning and waking up in the middle of the night and you don't know what to do with that, when it's time, God will show you what to do with that. He'll show you what to do with that time. In the meantime, get some rest if you can get some rest. If you wake up and feel like you're not sure what to do in the middle of the night, say a prayer. If for nothing but God, if you have something to say to me, Lord, I'll listen. If not, Lord Jesus, give me strength and give me rest to go back to sleep and get a little more rest. But what I'm saying is, just be yourself. You don't have to feel like you're going to miss God altogether just because you don't have all the pieces right now. In fact, God reminds us that we prophesy in part, so you may get a part now, and it may be years before you get the rest of it, or it may be months, or maybe the next day or hours. Either way, God is saying you don't have to rush. You don't have to feel like I'm going to give you something to do and then not bless you to walk into it to be able to do it. In the meantime, while you are waiting for God while you're waiting for the thing to come to pass, what you want to do is you want to be prepared for that thing. A lot of times we want the mission, but we're not made for the mission. And my dear sister and brother and friend, you have to be made for whatever the mission is. If you want to be effective, if you want to be impactful, if you want to be empowering, which we all want, and whatever our purpose is, you need to be made for the mission. Just be. I just really just wanted to leave that gold nugget with you as a message for you to carry with you throughout the week and days to come, and maybe even months down the road. Just be yourself. Be your best self. Be your worst self. Be your undecided self. Because sometimes we're not going to be able to decide at a certain moment and what it is that we want to do right then. I'm not telling you to walk around in confusion. What I'm saying is, God has already worked everything out. You don't have to be be dismayed or troubled in your heart or can't sleep because you're not sure what he wants from you, or you're not sure what he wants from your life. The best thing you can do is stop for a moment and surrender your life to him if you have not, and say, God, I give you my life, whatever that is. And then you can trust him. You can tell him, God, now I trust you that you will lead me in the right direction, because that's the God that we serve. And so I want you to just know that you can rest. So if you've not been getting sleep, you feel like you've been being bothered, rest. You can rest, sister. You can rest, brother. You can rest, knowing that God is faithful. And just as sure as he has called you, he'll cause you to, and even prepare you to walk in the purpose that he's called you into. And so I wanted you to know to, yes, rest, be yourself, enjoy your life every single day, and just be. And one day it's just going to start happening, just out of the blue. It's just going to happen. I'm telling you. Oh, I feel God saying there's going to be a suddenly that's going to take place. And it may be a major suddenly, or maybe a minor suddenly, but there's going to be a suddenly that's going to take place. But it's going to only take place when you rest in him, when you rest assured that your hope is definitely in him. That God, if you don't do it, it won't be done. Oh, glory. I feel the power of God right now. So you just have to understand that that's the God that you serve, that he doesn't make mistakes, that you're not behind, you're not too far ahead. You want to just be still in him and trust him, and let him know that you trust him, and rest assured that he'll work everything out. And so just as sure as one day is going to just happen, and there's going to be a suddenly, today, you can just be yourself. Be yourself. Ensure that you've given your life to God, that you're really following him. And if you don't know what that looked like, just be honest and open with him. Listen, God is a real God. Like there's a real relationship that we get to have with him, where we can just be for real and just be like, God, you said for me to follow you. What does that look like for me? What does that mean for me? What is it? Help me to follow you. Like, you can be all the way open with God. You can be all the way real with him, because that's who he is. We don't just do things and then God is surprised by what we do. Okay, he has a real plan and a real purpose for your life. And so if you want to be on the right path for that purpose and on the right path for that plan, then you got to start by giving your life, surrendering your life to him. And so if you have not done that part, start right there. And then you can truly rest in his faithfulness, because God is faithful. So again, a gold nugget: be yourself, be your best self, be your worst self, be yourself in God. So if you haven't surrendered your life, start right there. Be yourself in God and put your trust in him. Tell him that you're trusting him. Commit to trusting him, even in times that you're not sure what it may look like. Just be open with him, be honest with him, and trust that he's got you. He's got your best interest at heart. He loves you. He does have a plan for your life. And there's nothing that you have done. I don't know who this is for. There's nothing that you have done that can take him by surprise. There's nothing that you have done that is so messed up that he's not going to give you an opportunity to come to him and surrender your life to him. Okay, there is a place, there is a time that you can reject him altogether. But God knows your heart. He knows when you're confused or when you're unsure. He knows when you're just contemplating. He knows your real heart. So don't let anyone tell you that God doesn't want anything to do with you. If you're hearing this video, it's for you. God is saying it's your moment. It's your moment. It's your moment. Gold nugget. Surrender your life to him. Be yourself. And everything that you feel like you're chosen to do, one day you're just going to start doing it. Trust me. I know. And I only know because I've been trusting God, and I continue to trust God. Not boasting, but all my hope is in God. All of your hope, it's got to be in God. I hope this helps. I love you. Be blessed. Ciao.